everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 11, Episode 12, Circle of Distrust. We pick up this week exactly where we left off last week, right outside the bathroom door, listening to Erica sobbing. Crystal reiterates that Garcelle was already in the car. She did not hear Erica say, "I don't want to talk about this." And I don't know if Dorit is not listening to Crystal or if she just wants to be mad at Garcelle. But she's got a look on her face that I'm not liking right now. In Kyle's confessional, she said, "I don't even know why if Tom called Erica, it would be that big of a deal." Yeah, I get that perhaps legally they're not supposed to have any conversations with each other, but Garcelle didn't say she talked to Tom. She said Tom calls her. And Erica confirmed, yes, he does, and I don't take his calls. So it definitely seems like it's only Tom that's breaking the rules. I mean, theoretically, she shouldn't care if it looks bad for Tom, right? The man who was viciously mean to her for years that she's divorcing. What does she care if he looks bad? Okay, so we didn't get to see Erica emerge from the bathroom, but she did because now Dorit is hugging her. "It's going to be okay, I promise." Erica sits back down and it's like everyone has the same seats again. Rinna right by her side. Kathy asks the ladies if they're done with the tacos. Kyle's like, "Just take the bag, Kathy." Everyone's quiet. Erica is still crying. "I'm just having an incredibly hard time in my life." Rinna's like, "Just breathe." "I'm sorry that happened to you, Erica. That's fucked up." She better not be looking at Garcelle right now. Garcelle goes, "I'm leaving. I'm gonna go back to the hotel." Only Kathy says don't go, and only Kathy gets up to follow her. You know, I'm happy that Crystal spoke up at all. But why doesn't she say something now while Erica is there? You know, why doesn't she defend Garcelle right now? I just want her to say, "Garcelle, don't leave. You didn't even know Erica didn't want to talk about it. It's not your fault." But she's just very quiet again. In Garcelle's confessional, she said, "I don't feel like Lisa is giving me the benefit of the doubt. She's supposed to be building a relationship with me, right?" Anyway, Garcelle just says to Kathy, "That was not my intention." Like, her in tears like this. She shared a lot. Kathy goes, "Just come back for a minute and sit." She does sit down, but she's also crying. She says to Erica, "You're important to me, and it's not worth it to me for you to think that I was somehow doing this intentionally. I mean, you shared so much." Erica, "It's okay." She's got this very raspy, very breathy voice. "You don't need to leave. It's okay." Kyle's confessional. Whatever's happening with Erica must be major because she looks broken. There has to be something else going on. Garcelle walks over to Erica now and she said, "I would never do anything to hurt you." Erica, "It's fine. Don't worry about it." Okay, so my sweet, sweet Sutton knows what's up. In her confessional, she goes, "This isn't about Garcelle. This is about Erica and her problems." Yeah, because what's bothering me right now is that Erica looks so benevolent. Like she's patting Garcelle on the back and she's forgiving her. "It's okay, I promise. It's fine, Garcelle." Garcelle didn't do anything wrong. What great crime has Garcelle committed that the others didn't the night before? When Erica was so forthright and open about everything and telling, you know, the story of a lifetime. There were a lot of questions. You know, Kyle, even Dorit chimed in with either prying questions or observations about what they read in an article. So this Garcelle repeating to, again, Erica's close friends, what Erica told her in the afternoon, that Tom calls her. That was like nothing. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what that was. It was like she was good with everybody else and okay, more questions and more questions and more questions. And then finally she just like lost it. And unfortunately it had to be on Garcelle. But Dorit and Rinna looking at Garcelle like she's the bully on the playground, not fair. Erica now announces that she's gonna go home. Like all the way home, not to the hotel. "I've got some things I need to take care of." And Kyle goes, well, obviously we want you to stay, but we respect whatever you need if you need to go. Erica, I appreciate the invite, but I need to go. Dorit, I can make you a little bag of snacks to take with you. Erica, no, I've eaten enough today. So Kyle, Dorit, and Rinna walk her to the door. Sutton or Crystal, I'm not sure, asks Garcelle, are you okay? And she just shakes her head no. Sutton, you didn't do anything wrong. So the core four are outside talking, waiting for Erica's Uber to get there. Rinna, I'm sorry that happened. And Kyle goes, me too. Rinna, we all know you're gonna open up in your own time. Why push it? Did she really just say that? There is so much wrong with that statement coming out of Lisa Rinna's head. I don't even know where to begin. First, what did Garcelle push? I said I didn't love the questions on the mountaintop. They felt a little invasive, but you know, I blame the altitude. But this remark at Kyle's, that was nothing. Erica shared that freely with Garcelle and Crystal, someone she met like 2 months ago. Who could ever imagine that she didn't want the other members of the core four to know about it? The other main issue I have with Rinna, saying, we all know you'll tell us when you're ready, can be summed up in just 3 words. Denise fucking Richards. Seriously though, where was this grace for her? Oh, it's okay, we know you'll tell us when the time is right for you. So inside, Crystal says for the 3rd time, and yet again, when Erica isn't present. Side note, is Crystal also crying? I think so. She says, I know you weren't there when she said she didn't want to talk about it. But like, she can't even hear it. Her pain is so deep. Garcelle said, it's interesting that we 3 are in here and those 4 are out there. The ones who have been friends the longest. Well, yeah. Core 4, baby. All right, so Erica's ride gets there. The other core members wave goodbye and they have these painful, sad looks on their face. They head back into the house and Lisa's like, what can we do to turn this around, guys? And Sutton goes, well, you know, it's hard, but we have to get back on our feet. Pray for her and help her when we can. Rinna, I don't think it's gonna get any better anytime soon either. And I'm so sorry this happened right now. Garcelle, if somebody said to me that's the question that would push her over the edge, you better f***ing believe I would never have asked that question. Again, you didn't ask a question, but okay. Rinna, why did you feel like you had to ask in that moment? I would say, what did I ask? Because there was no question, people. Garcelle, listen, when I came in yesterday, all you guys told me that she shared so much with you. Dorit, she said, I don't want to talk about it. Garcelle, no. That part she did not say. Dorit, oh, but you said that. Now she's looking at Crystal. She said that to you? Yes, Dorit, now you get it. Crystal goes, yes, but Garcelle wasn't there. Are you gonna hear it this time? That is so frustrating to me. Then Dorit goes, are you sure that's what she was upset about? Garcelle, who knows? I mean, she's upset about a lot of things. Yeah, and like I said, Garcelle's comment was probably the last straw. All right, so now they decide they're gonna have dinner at 7 o'clock and Garcelle and Crystal leave to go to the hotel and get ready. As they're outside waiting for their Uber, Garcelle said, it's unfortunate, but I feel like a lot of people are not on my side. And Crystal said, well, I mean, there shouldn't be sides. And she's right. I mean, everybody could tell Garcelle, listen, it wasn't your fault. It really wasn't anything you said. And they can still have compassion for Erica, who's going through something terrible right now. You know, you can have both of those thoughts in your head. And Garcelle said, yeah, it shouldn't be, but that's the way it is. That's why they were out here when we were in there. Now it's Garcelle's confessional, and she just discovered the core 4, you guys. Garcelle just figured out that there's a core 4. She said, I always felt like there was an inner group within our circle, and I haven't been made to feel differently. Cut to inside. Rinna, I don't think it's our job to ask her questions unless she wants to share. I mean, on the surface, yes, that's true. But Lisa Rinna has not earned the right to make that statement, okay? 3 words, people. Rinna says she's already been asking questions, and then we see a flashback from the night before, I guess. It's when they had dinner in Erica's suite at the hotel, and, I don't love it. I like Garcelle, but she does have a way of just going question after question, like she's interviewing a guest for her show. It didn't feel like a friend asking questions, It was like, are you gonna have to go to court? I don't know. Every day is different. Was he in the hospital? Not to my knowledge. So you had no idea? No. Wow. You know what I mean? It was just like, I don't know. Kyle. Yes, she was telling us so much because she feels so safe with us. To paraphrase Dorit, what? I'm sorry, she lied to you guys. She lied to all of us for 6 seasons. You think now she feels safe? No. Now she feels like her back is up against the wall and she's desperate, and maybe she feels like, I need the Bravo paycheck. I need to deliver. Wasn't she almost cut from season 11? There were definitely rumors after the reunion of season 10 that they were not going to have Erica back. Teddy and Erica is what I heard. Either that or she's going to be like reduced to friend of. But, she came clean with a lot of juicy stuff, and she's basically carrying season 11, right? What else has happened to this season that even compares to the stuff that Erica's going through? Nothing. All right, so I guess earlier that day, Erica was in the kitchen with Lisa, Kyle, and everybody, and she said that she was waiting for the transcripts of the hearing that day. Rinna asked her, there was a hearing today? And Erica said, yeah, but it's not good. Oh, it's just another great day in paradise for me. Then Rinna reads from Kyle's phone. An involuntary bankruptcy petition is being filed. What does that mean? Dorit and Kyle, involuntary. Dorit, in the event of a divorce, she would expect to get 50%. Now, if everything they have is going into bankruptcy, Erica cannot get a dime. Rinna, okay, so let's think about, what are we gonna have for dinner? There's that compassion, Rinna. Kathy from off camera says, you know what looks good? Ruth's Chris. They have sweet potato casserole, lobster mac and cheese, baked potato, spinach. They have fish. Rinna and Sutton are like pretending they're barfing. But Kathy, I swear Kathy has it in her contract that I'll be on camera whenever I feel like it. Even if I'm in the room with everyone, I might not want the camera on me. It's so funny. All right, so now all the ladies get glammed up for dinner, even though it's just at Kyle's again, and Ruth's Chris is just carry out. It doesn't matter. I'm truly here for it. I really am. I have always loved seeing the housewives and like what they're wearing, That's always been a huge part of why I love the show. Rinna's wearing this like black silky jumpsuit. I guess she just bought it that day. Kyle has pretty sparkly shoes. Kathy and Sutton are getting ready in the same room. Sutton says, I think I'm gonna wear dangling earrings, or no. And Kathy goes, no, I think those are gorgeous. Then as she's walking away, but the necklace looks a little daytime. Sutton's like, she's so bossy. Side note, Sutton is in like the red version of Dorit's preppy leprechaun look. Oh, Dorit does not disappoint people. What is she carrying, an umbrella? Kathy goes, wait a minute, you're gonna waste this outfit for just us girls? Of course she is, Kathy. You girls are on TV, and where else is she gonna go during the pandemic? This is a big night for her. Sutton is like, naughty Santa's helper and sweet Santa's helper, because she's standing right next to Dorit. In her confessional, she said, I love Dorit so much. Nothing says girls not in like Dancer Goes to Vegas. Okay, so while Kyle loses her battle with the ice maker, Garcelle and Crystal show up. Okay. Kathy is sitting on the couch right next to Dorit, and she turns toward her and like sneezes right at her, and Dorit screamed. All right, so after everyone gets over the shock of like the blood-curdling scream that comes out of Dorit says, guys, has anyone spoken to Erica? Jeez, it's been 10 minutes. She probably hasn't even gotten to her shitty little house yet. Kyle, I texted her. Dorit, oh good. Yeah, Kathy, just so she knows that people, I guess that was Kathy's shorthand. Garcelle, I texted her too. Yeah, I sent her a text. Kyle, you sent her a text? Yeah, Kyle. Garcelle, of course. Kyle, and did she respond? Garcelle, oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting a response. I just told her I was sorry. And Kyle goes, next time she sees you, like, she's not going to be a bitch. She's not going to scream at you. She's just not going to trust you. Okay, why would that be? Garcelle didn't betray her trust. I feel like it doesn't matter how many times Crystal says Garcelle wasn't there when she said she didn't want to talk about it. Doesn't matter. They don't want to hear that part. Garcelle's like, I get that, but I didn't do it intentionally. Rinna, is there anything you can own in that? Garcelle, excuse me? She repeats it, and Garcelle said, absolutely not. We see a flashback of Lisa Rinna going after DFR pretty relentlessly. In her confessional, Garcelle said, after the way she treated Denise, I think that's a bit hypocritical. She can take her own it and shove it as far as I'm concerned. Dorit, I don't think you meant to attack her, but maybe needling her a little bit. Garcelle, I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to shit on her when she's at her bottom. That's not who I am. I am not that person. Crystal, I'm telling you, she was not even there when Erica said she didn't want to talk about it. Rinna nods, real big smirk on her face. Like, okay, my job here is done. Oh, she can be so nasty. Garcelle says to Crystal, you don't even have to defend me. I know who I am. And Crystal said, I know. Garcelle said, I'm not taking that on. It could have happened to any one of us. I'm not taking that on. Obviously, you think I should, she says to Rinna. Rinna goes, let's get really clear. Make me understand it. Garcelle said, I wish I was told not to say anything because I wouldn't have. But I wasn't told, and I overstepped. Rinna, okay, that's good, right there. Garcelle, I overstepped. Okay, that bugs me. I don't want Garcelle to own it, but that pleased Rinna. In her confessional, Garcelle said, I have nothing to own. I just wanted to shut her up. Okay, so now all the food from Ruth's Chris arrives. Everyone's grabbing their food. Also, everyone has their coat on because I guess it's freezing there. Finally, Kyle agrees to close the glass doors and they start to eat. And Kathy said, I feel like we're missing someone. And everyone's like, Erica. Kathy, no, somebody else. And they're like, nope. Everybody else is here, Kathy. Rinna, hey, let's play a game. Kyle hates this because she said it always leads to trouble. And then we get a flashback to some of the games in the past that have led to trouble. But the one at Kyle's house where Aaron, Denise fucking Richards' husband, started sharing the best story ever. When I was 12 years old, I lived by some power lines. Oh my God, that was so good, you guys. I'm gonna link my recap to that episode right here because it is worth a second look. That was such a good story. Oh my God, you guys. Aaron and Erica on tour, storytelling. All proceeds go to the victims of Tom Girardi. Guys, come on, you in or out? I would be all in on that. Aaron and Erica, just tell me when you're gonna be in Chicago. I'm getting tickets. So Kathy said, what kind of game do you want to play? Rinna, I think a happy one. She's so weird. Crystal goes, wait, is there a situation where you would want to play a sad one? Kathy goes, oh, we'll get to those. Okay. Kyle goes, well, like last night, it was Confucius. Kyle's like, oh my God, that was so funny that the guys thought I was being racist. Yeah. It's always funny to be accused of being racist. So Kathy goes, you know what? I heard that you had an issue with somebody saying that they don't see color. Oh, so we're diving right into the sad game. Okay. A little warning would have been nice. Kathy says, she's saying this to Crystal. Kathy said, you know, Michael Jackson and I grew up together. And he said to me, Kathy, I don't see color. And I said, neither do we. Oh my God. A, who's we? White people? And B, Michael Jackson? Are you sure we want to use Michael Jackson for our guide as to what's right or wrong? And Sutton's confessional, she said, I'm at the other end of the table. I'm just gonna stick to my creamed spinach. I'm staying out of this one. Yeah, good idea. And Garcelle said to Kathy, I know you can see me as a woman. I know you can see me as a mother. I know you can see me as a friend. But if you don't see color, then you don't see me. In her confessional, she said, I think Kathy saying that she doesn't see color is just her way of saying, I love everybody. But we've moved on from that now. Now I need you to see that I'm a black woman at the end of the day. That shows up before my intelligence, before my fashion. That shows up before anything else when I walk into a room, and I need you to see that. Kyle, she's saying that to her, everyone is equal. And Garcelle said, we're not. We're not equal. So they agree that that is a conversation that needs to be had. Dorit, why are we not equal? Garcelle said, because we aren't treated equally. Then everyone's like, but we should be. Yes, of course we should be, but we're not. It's what I said before. If we just gloss over the part that we're not starting from the same spot, it's not a level playing field. So Garcelle says, have any of you here that have adult children ever said to them when they leave the house, be careful if the cops pull you over because you might get shot? Kind of shut them up for a second there, and Kyle said no, never, and Lisa agreed no. Everyone else got it. In her confessional, Garcelle said, Jax and Jade don't drive yet, but with Oliver, I worry about him all the time. Because if he gets pulled over, they're not seeing Garcelle Bouvet's son, he's just a black man. And the world doesn't see the value in black men. And then Kyle's like, we can say we're all equal, but I've never walked in her shoes. Dorit, I grew up in a house where we weren't allowed to treat anyone as anything other than our equal. Garcelle, just because you didn't grow up with it doesn't mean I haven't experienced it. Dorit goes, no, of course not. That's not what I'm saying. Now Crystal said, I wish I grew up in a house where we thought everyone was equal. I grew up with warnings to protect myself because people are going to attack you. People will treat you bad. And I was treated bad in a lot of ways. She then tells us that in school, she'd get little comments, slanted eyes, or they made fun of her last name. And her parents taught her to just keep your head down and walk away, because otherwise you're going to get hurt. So Kathy says, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't want to sit down with a 4-year-old with this innocent little mind and point out to someone. And Garcelle said, I agree. You shouldn't have to go to a 4-year-old and say, you need to be this. That's a lot for a 4-year-old. Dorit, it's a complicated issue, Garcelle. But I am going to say it to a 4-year-old if he's black. In her confessional, Garcelle said, it's a privilege to not have to have that conversation. I wish I had that choice. I don't. Dorit. Well, I've always said to them, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. And we've always had people that work for us that are very multicultural. I've had a lot of Black and Hispanic and Filipino, and my kids are used to it. Some of the people they love most in this world are dark-skinned. Garcelle said, but do the brown people only help in your house? There's a long pause. Dorit, no. In fact, my mother's best friend is black. You had to go to your mother's best friend, though. Garcelle, awesome. Sutton is sitting right next to Crystal, and so she looks at her and she goes, we already did this, so I think I'm just gonna sit this one out. Anyway, Garcelle's like, yeah, it's a tough conversation to have. Rinna, well, it's heavy. Yeah, it's heavy. Crystal goes, when you said a nice game or a dark game, this is the game. And Rinna goes, no, I don't like this game. Yeah, thanks, Kathy. Boy, she can either bring levity to a situation or bring it way down. Okay, dinner's over. Kyle asks everyone to please rinse their plates and put them in the dishwasher. She said, that would really help me a lot. Dorit, when you invite us on vacation, can you just get help? Yeah, maybe some of your brown friends can come over and clean the kitchen. Kyle's like, I'm sorry I don't have a housekeeper here. Dorit goes, no, I'm just saying maybe we could all chip in and, get a housekeeper for when we're What? Does Dorit think that Kyle can't afford a housekeeper? She's got $100 million. $100 million, Dorit. That's her net worth. Did I ever look up Dorit's net worth? I'm gonna do that right now. 50 million with PK. Dorit has a coat like thrown over her shoulders while she's kind of gingerly wiping the countertop. She does not want to be doing this. In Kyle's confessional, she goes, "Oh my God, all I'm asking her to do is rinse one dish. You'd think I was asking her to detail my car." Okay, so Crystal and Garcelle head back to the hotel now. Kathy heads back to her room to get her jammies on. Will we see her again tonight? 50-50. She does love to duck out. Oh, she's back. That was super fast. Rinna says, "You guys, it was hard today. I'm sad that Erica's not here." You know what I'm sad about? I'm sad that the victims didn't get their money. Dorit, I know. Rinna, yeah, like for me, it's hard to be like 100%. Dorit, you feel it. Anyway, Kyle goes, "Oh wait, you guys, you were sleeping." But Rinna shared with us today, Harry Hamlin has acrylic nails. I'm surprised Rinna wasn't like, I do mind you sharing, Kyle. You got it out of me once. Did you have to do it twice? No, she's laughing. We see a flashback to earlier when Lisa was telling them that Harry, when he plays guitar, he doesn't like to use a pick. So he gets acrylic nails on one hand. How often does he play guitar? He's not Eric Clapton. He's an actor, right? He just walks around with long nails on one hand. Anyway, Rinna says, "Let me text him to send a picture." Kyle's like, "Tell him Kyle's looking for someone who does good acrylics. Show me your nails." They're like shrieking with laughter. And Harry, like I said, Harry immediately sends the pic. Side note, I know all about the rumors about Harry Hamlin's sexuality. I almost always do not believe those rumors, those kinds of rumors, because I don't know, the way I look at it, it's 2021. I just feel like it's not a big deal to be gay in Hollywood. And so if you were, why wouldn't you come out? Why would you spend your life with Lisa Rinna if you didn't have to? So for me, these nails say one thing and one thing only about Harry Hamlin. I don't give a fuck. I don't think he can be bothered with what anyone else thinks about him. I think he goes through life just kind of MacGyvering every situation. He finds a solution. I don't like a pick. I don't like using a pick. So I know what, Lisa gets these fake nails. I could get fake nails on this hand and use them as a pick. I literally think he just figures out solutions for things with complete and utter disregard for what anybody else thinks about him. It's like him filling a 5-foot pool to be a reservoir so that their house doesn't burn. You know what I mean? Like he's just a guy who figured out how to have a built-in pick on his hand. Listen, it's just my opinion, but I don't think for a second that Harry Hamlin is transitioning. Although, how much would Lisa love that? It would bring her that much closer to being Kris Jenner. Okay, it is the next and final morning. Lisa Rinna and Kyle are having coffee in their jammies. And at the hotel, Garcelle and Crystal are in Garcelle's room and they've got their suitcases packed and everything. They're ready to go, but they're sitting there. They're chatting at the same time that Lisa and Kyle are chatting. So at Kyle's, Google alert. Kyle's looking at her phone. Rinna? And Lisa's like, "Hold on, I'll be there in a second." She's fixing her coffee. At the hotel, Crystal gets the same alert. Garcelle, "What?" And Crystal goes, "Oh, it's a long article." Then we see a headline, "The Legal Titan and the Real Housewife, the Rise and Fall of Tom Girardi and Erica Jane." So this article was December 17th, so that's the timeline here. Back at Kyle's, more hushed whispers. Kyle, "It's bad." Rinna's like, "That's not good. How bad is it?" So Rinna's looking at it too, but she's like, "It's just too long. Like, this is gonna take me a minute." Kyle, in her confessional, said, "This is like the rise and fall. Like, I didn't think it could get any worse." But it's like an in-depth expose. Now we have all the wives in their confessionals, and they're each like reading parts of the article. He stands accused of stealing millions of dollars from vulnerable clients, including Indonesian children orphaned by a plane crash and a burn victim in the Pacific gas and electric pipeline explosion. His creditors have demanded payment in court. Kyle read that. Then Rinna, then Garcelle. He has bristled at allegations that he diverted firm assets for lavish living, but his lawyers admitted in court this week that he has been unable to tell them what happened to the money. And Kyle is reading this to Rinna. Law Finance Group, a Northern California lender, had access to some of the firm's records and didn't like what it was seeing. Very substantial sums denominated as loans were going from firm accounts to EJ Global LLC. And Rinna goes, her account. Kyle, still reading, he inappropriately funneled more than $20 million to Jane's entertainment company. Rinna, that's a lot of money. Yeah. Kyle, oh God. Then Rinna looks at her. Side note, yeah, Tom really sounds like he's senile. Senile like a fox. Kyle reads, at one point I had 80 million or 50 million cash. That's all gone. Side note, that sounds like a direct quote from The Housewife and the Hustler, that documentary, because I remember that part. Girardi acknowledged in testimony, I don't have any money. So now Sutton comes downstairs. Good morning. Kyle, have you seen the latest? Sutton, I did. I read the whole thing. Kyle, so then you tell us, because we haven't gotten through the whole thing yet. Sutton, well, it's just so complicated. They used the word Ponzi scheme. So now the ladies are asking about Bernie Madoff's wife. Sutton goes, she wasn't implicated and she didn't go to jail. But here's the tricky part. Erica's business is under her name. And it was accepting these funds. That's trouble. Now Dorit wakes up, comes downstairs, and she joins them. Meanwhile, at the hotel, Garcelle and Crystal are still talking about it. Garcelle's like, it's not a tabloid, it's the LA Times. Garcelle, and I can't imagine this article coming out without her getting a heads up. Garcelle thinks that's why she flipped out on her and left La Quinta early. It happened to be me, but it could have been anybody that she flipped out on. So now Garcelle and Crystal are heading home, and at Kyle's house, they're still analyzing the article. Dorit's heart is breaking for the orphans. It said he ran his business like a Ponzi scheme. Sutton, and it's not just orphans, it's burn victims. There's a group of women, and Rinna goes, the hormone. They got cancer from supposedly taking this hormone. Sutton goes, yeah, and they weren't paid. Now Kathy's up. Or she's just been sitting there all along, just out of the camera's view. I don't know. Hard to say. She said, do you think she knew about this article coming out? Kaya goes, yeah, I think that's why she left early. This article is implying that Erica was complicit in all this. Sutton, I mean, how do you have a business and not know? In Kyle's confessional, she said, if I had $20 million in my account, whether it happened over a long period of time or not, it would be very strange. But also, I know where all my homes are. Rinna said, I mean, do you think Tom Girardi comes home and says, let me tell you about my day and what cases I'm working on? Oh, and by the way, over here I borrowed a little and I'm in a little bit of trouble. In her confessional, Rinna says, I wouldn't think that Erica knows anything that's going on. And Tom would just say, sweetie, I'm in charge. Okay, first of all, ew. Second, Rinna, didn't you say that you pay all the bills at home? Now suddenly you're saying that Harry puts contracts in front of you and you just sign them. And third, isn't Tom supposed to be senile now? Are we forgetting that storyline? I mean, people, you really need to just stick to one defense, okay? Sutton is telling the others that Erica is responsible for her own LLC and from where the money came from that was put into her LLC. She could go to jail. Now they're all coming to terms with how well they really know Erica. Dorit, I've known her 5 years. You've known her 6, Lisa, and you've known her 6, Kyle. Kathy, I don't know her. Kathy's already bailing. I don't know her at all. I just met her. Rinna goes, I worry about her. I worry about her mental state. No need. She's tough, remember? Remember the game in her hotel suite? The one word she used to describe herself was tough. Not like I'll beat you up, but like mentally. So, all right, guys, we are back in Beverly Hills now, and Kyle greets all of her dogs. Crystal comes home to Rob. Rob's like, how was the trip? And Crystal goes, well, I'm not crying, so there's that. She goes, that's how I gauge all my trips now. Dorit is FaceTiming with PK and Boy George, they're talking about Erica. It's a tough spot, babe, to be her friend, but you can't support these allegations unless she promises you she didn't know. Yeah, pretty sure she's gonna promise that she didn't know. Boy George is like, it's quite a sandstorm. Now Kyle calls Dorit, and none of the ladies can stop thinking about the article. Well, maybe Kathy can. I don't think Kathy's losing any sleep over it. So Kyle says to Dorit, Sutton called me and she wants to set up a meeting with all of us without Erica. Okay, well, I guess the meeting is actually going to be at Dorit's house because she's setting up for everyone to come over. Like, she's got hors d'oeuvres set up and everything. Side note, when did Dorit start sporting that extreme wing? That is quite a look. Anyway, she's telling her assistant, Sutton asked if I would host this meeting, and I said, of course. All right, so Rinna arrives first. Rinna's like, hello, my love. Dorit, hi, my baby. Rinna, here, I just brought you a little something fun. The look on her face is one of like extreme pity and pain, maybe? Okay, this was cruel. It was one of those panettone cakes that like nobody eats. It's that like really tall cake that like has raisins in it, which I feel like is always a risky choice. Okay, side note, I've never had one of those. I just think they look really dry and bad. They could actually be delicious. I have no idea. I don't know. I've always lumped them in with like fruitcake for some reason. Let me know in the comments if you love panettone cake. Okay, now Crystal, Kyle, and Garcelle arrive. The latest news is that Erica posted pictures of Tom's mistress on Instagram. And there's a headline, Erica Jane leaks alleged texts of husband cheating. In Kyle's confessional, she said, I don't know why she's posting this on Instagram right now. I think it's maybe so all these people who are saying her divorce is a hoax will believe her. Garcelle reminds everyone that when Erica was at her house, she asked her about this cheating rumor. And Erica basically said, no, I don't know anything about him cheating. She's like, Erica wasn't honest with me. So maybe she isn't telling us everything. Rinna, I spoke to her this morning and she was like, I did it. And my attorney told me I needed to take it down. So I did. Okay, so Sutton is the last to arrive, and she's the one that called this meeting. She announces that she has a lot of reservations about what went down in La Quinta. I left thinking something's amiss. I just have to get this out. I think we are all being placed in a bad position. I think we have heard stories that don't add up. Yeah. The night of storytelling alone was filled with discrepancies. Kyle. So basically you're saying, I don't believe you, Erica. I think you're guilty. Sutton goes, I have questions, but I'm not sure how much I want to be around my friend right now during this time. And Rinna's eyebrows go up and it's a to be continued. Yeah. I mean, listen, Sutton and Erica are not exactly besties, right? But yeah, that is it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Also, thank you for hanging in there with me. Yes, I know I'm still very behind. I can't really seem to catch up. And now Salt Lake City has begun and I'm recapping those. So I'm just like doing the best I can. There are like other things that are going on for me right now that are kind of occupying a lot of my time. So I'm just plugging along and hanging in there, and I appreciate you guys being here with me. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you have not yet done so. Please leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. And if you are ordering anything from Amazon, please think about going through one of my links below. Even if you don't buy the thing that's linked there, I still get credit for whatever it is that you do end up buying. So that would help me greatly. I appreciate you guys so much. And I will see you next week with the next recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Love you guys. Bye.